in the US. I'm not sure how much that is. I just know grams for this. So it looks like about a tablespoon, roughly. And the salt is, you need the salt for this, for sure. You need salt. And I'm just going to see if I can dump some water in without spilling it all. Of course not. And then we're going to just stir it up. I'm going to add a little bit of the Rejuvelac. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup is good, or so. You can experiment with it. So I'm going to add, that's about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 cup. And there's my brine. I just want to make sure that try as best to get all of this salt dissolved. Because you want the salt. So when we're pickling, my grandmother and my mom I remember them getting together and doing all this pickling and making dill pickles. Oh, my grandmother's dill pickles were amazing. But they used vinegar and they pasteurized it. So they put it all into a steamer bath and did all this stuff. And then they would seal the jars with the lids. I don't have any of those lids, but they would seal the jar with the lids and all of that stuff. These ones, we're going to ferment them and then we're going to put them in the fridge. But the salt water will keep bad microorganisms out. They won't grow. So the rule when you're doing pickling and fermentation with vegetables, and you could do other vegetables too. It's not just carrots and dill, like cucumbers. So you could do like a medley and include some stuff like cauliflower. I imagine you could do broccoli, whatever you want. Just try. So I'm just going to add this and fill it up. You want the brine to cover all of your vegetables. You don't want the vegetables to be showing. They should be all fully submerged. That's why we stuff them in, because we don't want them floating up. Because once they're at the surface, then that's where they can have the bacteria growing on them. The rule of thumb is under the brine, everything's fine. So we've got one brine. Just going to add this one here to this one, and then I'm going to make some more brine. Let me see. I have a towel. I really made a mess here. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I think I could foreshadow that I wasn't going to do a good job of pouring, but that's okay. Now we're going to do this again. I don't need as much, but I'm just going to make the whole thing because I don't want to be playing around. I can always use it or throw it out. It's just brine water. So again, I got my 15 grams-ish of salt. I'll add in some water. This time I usually do this way where I just put a little bit, get it dissolved as much as possible, and then add more. So I want to make it to the 2 cup or the 500 ml level. Add some more. And then we'll add in some of this Rejuvelac. Boom, to get it up. There we go. These are the ones that the canning lids would seal. These when you put them in the water, they would hot water and pasteurize, they would seal. But then once you pasteurize, you're getting rid of all of the good bacteria that are good for our gut health. And we don't want to do that. So that's why we're going through this process. So let's put and I'm going to fill it up. Boom. Here. Now you want to leave a little bit of room at the top for air bubbles and gases to escape, because as it's fermenting, the bacteria that's there will make bubbles as they're giving off, I think, the CO2 gas. And yeah, there we go. Now, You can see, like, this is, these carrots now, if you can see, they move around. They do. They're not going to be so tight in a few days. That's for sure. So what we do is we add what's called a follower, which will keep anything from the top. So this is my follower. It's a piece of cabbage leaf. It's a cabbage leaf. I've washed it so that it's clean, and I'm just going to add it here. And then that way it keeps a little bit of a layer between the pickles, the cucumbers, and the top of the water. Remember, everything under the brine is fine. And then I have these pickling weights that I bought. They're pickle pebbles is what they're called. They're mason tops, and these ones are the wide mouth. So they're like a weight, just glass. So I can add that in here. Look at that. It's going to be really